Welcome back to the Reminder Dental pre-sales series. Want to answer one of our top questions of, can I use Reminder Dental to send bulk SMS messages? And the answer is no and yes. All right, so let me take you through a little bit of what you can do with Reminder Dental, and then I'll tell you more about what you can't do. All right, just pulling this up. All right. Okay, so it is totally fine to come in and say, for all of the patients on this day, send them a text message. Okay, so the thing that we're complying with is called the CTIA guidelines, and let me pull this up and just let me pause you for a sec. Okay, so it is text messaging everyone should know about, and it is called the CTIA. And the basic idea is we want to create a law or a system that allows businesses to communicate important information to their businesses or to their customers while not spamming. Okay, so how can we create a series of rules that protects consumers while also allowing businesses to do what they need to do? And there is what's called transactional messaging and promotional messaging. So a transactional message would be what we're dealing with on this page. So somebody scheduled an appointment so we're going to send them a save the date. Someone scheduled an appointment, or that appointment's coming up, so we're going to remind them about that appointment. We're going to confirm it. We're going to send them a last-minute reminder. We're going to send them specific information, review feedback, a review request that relates to the transaction of the person coming in and doing business with your company. Okay? All of that is totally allowed within a window of time. Okay? So it doesn't mean that you're allowed to go back 10 years and say, hey, at one point you did business with us, and so we're going to include you in this mailing list. Okay? While it may be technically legally allowed, we have to go back to the CTIA. And the important part of this is that it's not just from the FCC or the FTC. This is all of the wireless carriers getting together and saying, we're not going to do it. And so let me give you an example, and which goes along with this sentence right here. I had a prospective office call me last year, and they said, Alan, I want to send a message to every single one of our patients that are overdue for a cleaning every time we have an opening. And I have hundreds of them. Okay? And I try talking to them and saying, that's unreasonable. If you have one spot open, then you don't need to send out hundreds or thousands of messages. And they say, oh no, Alan, our customers are so committed, they want it. We are booked out so far in advance that if there's an opportunity, they are so excited to get this message that we're available. Okay, and now, from my perspective, we have conflicting stories. If people are that excited, you don't have to message all of them. Okay, and so what we have is we have a system that allows you to message 20 people at a time that are overdue for their appointments, but we're not going to message 1,000 people every time you have one opening, right? So but the important thing again is that these are guidelines by the communications company. And so what happens is when Verizon sees 50 messages coming through over 2 minutes that all look virtually identical, then they say they'll deliver the first few, and then they'll say, huh, this looks like spam, let's throw it away. Okay. Now, there's a few things that happen with that. Number one, we still get charged for it, but we also don't get a failed delivery notice. And so we think that the customer received that information. So it doesn't do you any good, and it doesn't do us any good, and it doesn't do the customer any good for us to spam. And so our system allows us to send messages that are most likely to be delivered. We're not going to create a system that's not going to serve you. Okay, so by doing that, we're going to say anybody you have on one page, you can send a message to. Okay, now and then this list will be divided up between Verizon, T-Mobile, Singular, all these other carriers, and so the likelihood of people getting blocked is fairly low. So you can also do your quick fill schedule that allows you to find a group of patients and send them either an email or a text message saying, hey, I have an appointment available soon. Okay, and you can limit it to only those who want a prophy. Okay, and you can come to this page multiple times and it'll just keep pulling a random list of 20. And so that's the way ReminderDental does bulk text messaging. If you're the one time that I'll say I really feel like this became a hindrance was, early 2020, when people with coronavirus quarantines, there was a legitimate need to communicate with large groups of people that exceeded what the communication guidelines specified. And unfortunately, it was still a limitation. We couldn't just call the carrier up and say, hey, we think we have a really, really, really good reason to send out 150,000 text messages this week or today. But so we still have to work within those guidelines, but in general, it doesn't create a problem. And so sending every one of your, so for a good example of a marketing message would be texting everyone to tell them that you're moving locations, or you've opened a new location, or you're now offering implants. Those are all marketing. Okay, if it doesn't relate to a current appointment, it's marketing. Even this quick fill schedule, it's marketing. Bottom line is you're trying to drum up new business. And so it is something that happens at a limited rate to protect the consumers and ultimately to protect you. Because if we send too many messages and that phone number gets flagged as spam, then the next time we're out sending your office's appointment confirmations, Verizon may decide not to deliver it, or T-Mobile may decide that's all spam, and so the money you've already got, these appointments you've already got scheduled, may get interrupted. And so we want to make sure, ReminderDental, I feel like do no harm is a really good motto for us as well as others. Is we want to make sure we don't introduce a system that has the potential of creating a negative outcome for your office. And so that's the outline of bulk SMS.